Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to Cricbuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now.
Also, very interesting to see how Rishabh Pant does as captain of Delhi. That's right. There were some interesting things that happened last season. The first installment, you had him come in as a replacement captain because Shreyas was not going to play. When the second installment came around, Shreyas was fit, but Rishabh continued as captain. I think the die was cast then. You realize that Shreyas would be a free agent and he'd go to another team. And Delhi had pretty much told us what they wanted to do in the long run, backing Rishabh as captain. It is such an interesting move because on one side, you keep seeing Rishabh, and Rishabh gives you joy and frustration in equal measure, right? Because when he gets going, he is such a delight. Sometimes you're thinking, why does he even use two hands on the bat? Because he hits one-handed sixes for fun, right? Why is he using? Don't use two hands, Rishabh. And there he is, being leader and being good, Harsha.
And getting more and more comfortable with who he is. Sometimes you see people grow, and that explains how they grow as cricketers. So I talked about Harshal Patel. He's much older, but to me, the one thing that stands out more than anything else is how much effort he's put behind his wicket keeping, and that tells me how ambitious he is. He's not just out there to make wisecracks from behind the stumps and throw his bat around. He's here for the long haul. His keeping has improved more than I think any other player has improved in any other format that I've seen in recent times. So that tells me he's ambitious what he's doing. I think he'll be a good captain because he's now very sure of himself, and he'll bat number 4. I'm just thinking that till they get their entire batting order together, they shouldn't lose 2 or 3 games, because that 5, if Delhi are batting, stop what you are doing. If you've just got a traffic light turning green, quickly go to the corner and park and pull out your phone and watch, because their top 5 is Shaw, Warner, Marsh, Pant and Powell. I don't know if you got to see Powell recently, because Powell, there's one thing Powell doesn't believe in, which is small sixes.
He's a Powell hitter.
He's a complete Powell hitter. Like Ricardo Powell also used to be before. So I actually asked him, I said, listen, you hit such big sixes? He said, yeah, and look at your Indian batsmen. They just do this much and it goes for 6, and I'm going boom and I get the same number of runs. But he's batting 4 for the West Indies. He's a batsman. He's not a slogger. He's batting 4 for the West Indies. And his strike rate is incredible. He's big build, powerful, and he's after Kyron Pollard all the time to give him overs. So he's also there, capable. He'll be in Rishabh Pant's ear saying, give me 2 overs every game. So if he can do that, then that adds suddenly, because there's a little bit over there with that bowling, little uncertainty, because the batsman is fantastic. We are forgetting one other name with the bat over there, and he's another person who's seen sense in the last 2 years, and that's Sarfaraz.
Comeback kid. He's come back with a lot of sense, hasn't he?
He's hitting 160, 170, 200, 300 for Mumbai. So if they play Sarfaraz at 6, what that does is then Marsh and Powell have to give them 2-3 overs every time.
True.
Because then look what happens there. Nokia, you don't know when he's going to start playing, because if Nokia is going to take a bit of time, then Lungi and Gidi, Lungi's economy rate is 9.5. They could do with that lineup, especially if Kuldeep doesn't have a great season, with backup bowling support, and that is where Powell and Marsh will have to play a big part. But Marsh has to stay fit, because in that family, they keep whether it's Sean or Mitchell, they keep falling unwell, and I don't want to make fun of them because that's serious. They're always they're prone to that. But if he has a full season, the way he batted in that T20 World Cup final, and then in the Big Bash, Mitchell Marsh has finally become the player we thought he could
the
be.
West Indies series as well, when Australia went there for that T20 series. So there as well.
Clean.
Really clean hitting. They've got 2 youngsters who I want to talk about them. They showed us a bit of Lalit Yadav the previous season. They showed faith in him at 6. And they've got Yash Dhul. I don't know if you saw this on, Delhi put a video out. That little no look over the keeper shot that he hit. Jeez, man, that was. If you're going to see one Yash Dhul do one thing, see that, yeah, Joy?
Absolutely. The other thing I was thinking about was right in the first auction. Remember, there's a draft after the first auction where the under 19 players were taken by draft, and Delhi had the first pick, but they had so many batsmen, so they picked Pradeep Sangwan. The next pick was obviously Bangalore's, and they grabbed Virat Kohli. After that, they've taken every other World Cup winning captain in a row. They picked Unmukh Chand, then they picked Prithvi Shaw, then they picked Yash Dhal. They've just gone in a row and said, pick up victorious India captains.
What a brilliant stat. Nice. Love it, Joy. Love it.
And some of them go on to play for Melbourne Renegades as well.
Yep.
Some of them players, overseas players of Melbourne Renegades. But here's something interesting. If Warner comes late, as he will miss a couple of games, if they open with Yash Dhul, that opens up another opener slot. I don't know, instead of Warner, actually they could go with Tim Seifert as well. And just say, Tim Seifert, you go boom, boom, boom. But Delhi have in the past played only 3 overseas players. They're quite happy to invest in their players. When that under-19 World Cup was going on, there was talk about Yash Dhul, and there were a lot of people who were saying, Sheikh Rashid, what a good player, Sheikh Rashid. And I hope he comes good, proper number 3 player. Then I saw Yash Dhul bat in a couple of games. And I promptly messaged, I think it was Deep Das Gupta was doing commentary on the under-19 World Cup. I saw him play 2 balls, Yash Dhul. 2 balls, and I was on the phone to Deep Das Gupta saying, tell me more about this kid, man. You just look at a kid and you go, shake and play. 2 balls, I was on the message to Deep. So, I mean, they might well say, doesn't matter if we play only 3, Yash, go and play.
I have another point. Just talking about this, successful teams. Delhi has been a very talent-stocked and successful team in the last 3-4 years. As has Mumbai, as has Chennai. What you'll notice about them is they always find it more difficult in a big auction because they've been successful. Most of their players are picked up. So players like Rabada, they've lost players like that because you couldn't. Shikhar Dhawan, because they couldn't afford to retain them all. Shreyas Iyer. But I think they've done Avesh Khan. But because they've been successful, they've actually lost more. But I think given what they bought in Warner, Shardul, Yash Dhul, I think they've done a pretty decent job of restocking that larder after that. All these teams, Mumbai, Delhi and Chennai always have the same problem. Because they're successful, their players will go for a higher price, therefore it will be more difficult to retain. And given that, I think they've done a damn good job.
When I was in advertising, they would say that about Hindustan Lever and Cadbury. If you're a salesperson in Cadbury, your price goes up somewhere else, So,
there was obviously Prithvi Shaw was very worried when he lost his partner, Shikhar Dhawan. I don't mean his opening partner on the field, but his partner to make funny reels. And he's got David Warner there now, so he's a like-for-like replacement, right?
You mean the TikTok star? But Warner now is in Delhi, so he can't do some Allu Arjun moves. He might have to do some other not Punjabi kind of moves.
Trust me, he can do anything. He can do anything. Looking at what Shikhar and Prithvi used to do, I think David and Prithvi can do that as well. That's off the field with their TikTok, but on the field, look at that. You can't really compare Warner and Shikhar because they're two greats, and they're two greats of this tournament and what they've done. But if you ever had to talk about like for like, it's the former opening partner from his Hyderabad days. They lost Shikhar Dhawan and they got David Warner.
Warner is an IPL all-time great.
Yeah.
No question about it. Today he hit with the new ball, he hit Shaheen Afridi for 3 4s in an over.
Yeah.
He is in form and ready. And watch out, because he, like Shreyas Iyer at Calcutta, he's hurt.